Hello and welcome to On Call After Hours, where we answer the questions we weren't able to get to during the broadcast portion of our show. All of your questions are important to us, and we want to answer as many as we can for you. So let's bomb through it, kind of alternate, and we'll go for this. Are dissolvable pills as effective for seasonal allergies?
Well, if they're dissolvable antigen pills like Ragwitec and the Graztec, they're not as effective as allergy shots, but they do give you desensitization or some immunity against ragweed and grass. So they are effective, and we will use them.
I think the other thing would be like the Claritin Ready tabs,
Yes.
or those melt in your mouth. Antihistamines will work as well as the liquid or the pills. It's just a different route to be taken.
Okay. She said, son doesn't swallow the pills for seasonal allergies. I don't feel the same benefits. Can a person use the same pill type for seasonal allergies for years with the same effectiveness, or does it decrease in effectiveness?
When you decrease effectiveness, it usually means your allergy is getting bigger than your medicine.
And you need to come in and see the allergist.
Or add nasal steroid, which is what we've been kind of harping on here.
Okay. How can I tell if my child has allergies or just a common cold? Mark?
Again, that's the itchy, sneezy, lots of sneezes, not just one or two. They're the 10 sneezes in a row. They're itchy. They get the red eyes. That's both sides.
Somebody said nasal mucosa turns white. I've not ever been able to see that.
That's hard, and I think season's probably bigger. The trees, such, it's more like 4 weeks. The grass, it's 3, 4. It might be 2, 3 months. The weeds are 2 months, and so that's a lot longer than an infection.
Right.
Sure, timing's important too. You get infections in the winter, and you get seasonal allergy in the spring, summer, and fall.
Right, and a hacky cough is commonly the cold that follows a sore throat and a low fever for a day or two.
Sure.
But don't forget that a lot of the people have an underlying allergy. Say the dust mites are there, and those people catch an extra 2 or 3 colds a year because of the allergy.
Oh, so the allergy sets you up for the
Yep.
back. So you have both. So unfortunately, that's the complicated answer. How can I tell if my child has allergies or just a common cold? Okay, 63-year-old man from Rapid City. For 3 weeks, I've had welts. I've been taking Benadryl that relieves the symptoms, but the welts come back soon after. I have not switched medications or soaps. Do the doctors have any idea what could be causing these welts, and am I treating it correctly?
Well, urticaria is usually, if that is in fact what's going on, since there's a lot of things in the skin, but we'll assume it's hives or welts. And again, when it's under 6 weeks, it's an acute urticaria, as to be contrasted from a chronic. They're really from 2 different varieties, but they usually are an upregulation of your immune system, which means treat it symptomatically. Benadryl is probably not the best choice. I prefer cetirizine, the Zyrtec equivalent, and I prefer using a double dose. That's 10 milligrams in the morning, 10 milligrams at night. If they have a lot of swelling with it, which is called angioedema, I do use Zantac, which happens to be a type of antihistamine, 150 milligrams twice a day. So, and I hang in there with the patient for all the way until that 6 weeks, because usually whatever's the underlying issue goes away, a virus or something like that. But something as simple as a bad tooth or a bacteria in the stomach, that will keep going because that problem's still there.
That was well done. I thought that covered it. 82-year-old woman from Brookings, ends of hair causes ears to break out. Why is this? Is there an allergy? Happens 1 to 2 times a spring for the last 15 years. Mark, what's that?
People don't get an allergy to their own hair. So that if there's an allergy, there would be some product in the hair, or that you're having, say, a hive condition, and it's irritating, brushing along with it.
But I would say something in the hair products she's using, the hairspray or the color or something like that. 60, what do you recommend that she do? Topical steroids to the ears?
I think you have to see what's going on.
Go in and get
You have
seen.
to, yeah.
Have somebody look at it.
You know, you've got cell phones, so take a picture of it when it's symptomatic, because that does help. Because a lot of times you come into the doctor and they
just
don't,
there
they're
now.
not there.
Here's a picture of it when it was bad.
Yeah, exactly.
67-year-old from Sioux Falls, when I come in contact with evergreens primarily, I get a rash over my arms and legs. What can I do to prevent this? Any contact can provoke a breakout. Evergreen allergy, I've not heard of that.
It's the resin that's in the evergreen, usually.
It's
and
real common.
It's very
Oh, really?
common, particularly in places where evergreens are common, and the treatment obviously is to avoid contact with the
Long
evergreens.
sleeves.
Yeah. So probably taking saunas and using cedar switches is not a good idea
For those folks.
for those from Yulee, or no, what is the name of northern Minnesota where they do those?
Ely.
Ely, yeah,
Ely.
Ely. 80-year-old woman from Sioux Falls, can you be allergic to
Yes.
kiwi? Kiwi.
Yes,
Had it once on a salad and got very sick immediately and throat swelling.
yes,
Should she have an EpiPen nearby?
possibly yes.
Yep.
The answer is yes. 75-year-old, anything else she should do?
Well, kiwi has some cross-reactivity, so
With
it's worth
strawberries?
mostly with things like latex, banana, avocado. She should be evaluated. With her age and having to be an EpiPen, she should be evaluated.
80 years of age.
Yeah.
75-year-old woman from Rapid, can you talk about peanut allergy more? Why does walnuts burn her mouth? She has celiac and many allergies. Walnuts burning the mouth. Haven't heard that.
There is, I mean, walnuts, you can have an immune response to them, tree nuts
Tree
in
nut.
general, and it can be allergic, it can be immunologic, so that's another one that should be evaluated.
Okay. Anything more about peanuts that we didn't cover? Mark, any comment about?
I think that, one of the exciting things that people ask about is becoming less allergic to peanuts, because there's studies underway. I have to say that we're not ready for people to be clinically getting less allergic with those desensitization protocols yet.
Because there's danger there.
And they're not as successful as we wish they were, and there's a lot more reactions from them. But boy, the fact that we're actually helping some folks in these studies is really optimistic in my mind. It's exciting. So we'll just have to wait and have a lot more of these research things get done.
Okay. 71-year-old from Yankton, caller, gets painful rashes and swelling from gnat bites. Usually puts rubbing alcohol on the rashes and it relieves it. Is there anything else I can do about this? I would say don't put rubbing alcohol on it. It's the worst thing for dry skin, and the majority of the time that just makes rashes worse. I would use
I use unscented Sarna, which is hydroxyzine topically.
Oh, that's interesting. I'm into CeraVe right now because my dermatologist guessed. CeraVe is a kind of a protector, kind of a barrier. It has ceramide in it. Those are really good. But you like topical,
Sarna,
and is it over the counter?
yes. And there's one with fragrance and one without. You want the without.
Okay.
Basically,
How do you
the
spell that?
gnats,
Sarna. And you've described your experience with gnats and mosquitoes, and this is a bit of that experience.
Okay.
the gnats spit into you and it releases the histamine. It's not an allergic reaction. It's just your body doing what it's supposed to do when the gnat spits
Being
in
attacked.
Yeah. When the gnats attack. Comment from 80. Well, I get that way when people spit on me all the time. I mean, that's my
Yeah, you
reaction.
get pretty itchy.
Yeah. 82-year-old woman from Sioux Falls. The drug that docs were trying to come up with from Mexico is Laetrile.
Good,
Yep.
good.
Thank
Bravo. Thank you.
63-year-old woman from Lenox, rash over 90% of her body for 2 to 4 years. It keeps getting worse. What should she do?
Go to the dermatologist that's appropriate and get a biopsy.
Yeah, biopsy is important. Blood tests.
And actually, there's an important part to it that dermatologist has a good histopathologist that takes care of that. That's very important.
Right. You've got to have and if that allergist and that dermatologist isn't finding it, find another dermatologist. I would say get another second opinion. Well, that's it. Thank you for joining us on our website. We appreciate all your questions and the opportunity to answer them. And thank you again, gentlemen, for providing these great answers.
Thank you for having
Would
us.
love being here.